Yet more battlefield gains by pro-government forces. Rebel defenses are crumbling. They lost control of the district of Sheikh Saeed in the southeast of the besieged enclave. They are barely holding on to nearby areas. Opposition fighters, along with tens of thousands of civilians, are now squeezed in a tiny pocket of Aleppo city. This is a glimpse of what it is like inside the battleground. Activists report the most intense bombardment in days. Desperate people trying to find safety, but there is none. Many of these people fear arrest if they cross the front lines into government areas, so they move from neighborhood to neighborhood as pro-government forces close in.
There is a massive displacement underway in the besieged areas. The densely populated neighborhoods of Fardos and Sukkari are now empty of residents. People fled because the regime government is advancing there.
The message from the Syrian army suggests that this offensive won't stop, not until government forces regain full control of what was once Syria's commercial capital and it cleared of what they describe as terrorists.
The battle will continue. Our enemy is cornered. This is a war of attrition, but we will fight until victory.
The rebels have been calling for a humanitarian pause in the fighting to allow the sick, wounded, and the rest of civilians to leave. And they want those safe corridors to be supervised by the United Nations. Right now, however, they don't have much bargaining power. According to a proposal they received from the U.S., an evacuation deal with Russia would involve a rebel surrender. But the Russian government is denying that any deal was agreed to allow for the evacuation of civilians and fighters from Aleppo city. The Kremlin said discussions with U.S. and UN experts are continuing in Geneva. Opposition sources tell us their frustration is growing. They expected their friends to give them more support. Rebel commanders say the only choice they've been given is either to surrender or face death. Inside the destroyed and besieged neighborhoods, there are appeals for help.
We are out of the strategical amount of drugs, medicines, oxygen, and other medical equipments.
Russian leaders say talks are going ahead, but it's clear Syrian government forces are moving much faster. Zana Khuder, Al Jazeera, Antakya, southern Turkey.